Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith of the Smiths in the Black channel here at Ticker Talker, and this with the Strat Time report. And I'm going to be out of the office for the first time in 10 years. I'm taking 2 weeks in a row off, and I will be back August 3rd with the Strat Time report. So basically, what you can have a lot of is coming up here is earnings, and so that's where you want to learn how to trade gaps and what's going on there, because that's you got Tesla, you got all that kind of fun coming up. So for right now, what you're looking at here, as I leave, you're going to look at the S&P SPY, and you're going to see still an inside month. I believe the ES is not, but it's still bright green on the month. That's positive, all right? And then we go back up to the upper middle here, and you're going to see this weekly closing, trying to close towards the higher end of the week. So that's a good thing. We're still trying to take this out, right? Because this is an outside bar, took that down. So far as we know, we're going to try and take that out next week, but we'll see, because you can see these daily ranges really drying up here in the upper left. Put it up for you. Really starting to dry up, and so you see a lot of guys being like, I think it's a this, I think it's a that. It's a nothing, really, but you do have higher high. And that's just how it is. And so you don't have a reversal on the month. You don't have a reversal on the week unless you can take that out next week, all right? And the daily is taking out yesterday's high, so it's really not doing much, as you can tell. You can see this range getting stuck in here. And so if you go to a little bit more interesting here is going to be QQQ. And the reason I say that is because you have an outside week, all right? And so that's a broadening formation in itself, and that's going to look like this on your daily over here. Doesn't mean it's going to go up there or all the way down there, but you can see this stuff here. This is the outside week, and then 3 days stuck in here. All right, you got to get out of there. Right, if you're going to do anything major, you got to get out of there. Now, the good thing for the Qs, still above last month's highs and still green, and nowhere near a reversal on that. But you want to be very aware of this outside week. Either side of that thing, you want to stay out. Otherwise, you're going to come right back through it. So be aware of that next week when you come in. This morning here, like I said, it's drying up a little bit, but you got a few things. We had ISRG come flying out of the gate here. And ISRG, and you can see this. It's going into the highs. And so when this month ends, you're going to see this. You're going to see previously, see something like this. Here, there's your broadening formation, and now it's trying to expand that, right? So you have exhaustion risk. Anytime you're going into new highs, you want to be coming back through because you want to have stops to take out. And you can see this down inside month, no stop outs on that, right? And so ISRG having a good run here this morning. Let's see if that sets up again. Well, we'll see. It just kind of flew out of the gate a little quickly. In the utilities, NEE here, and you can see NEE. Here, having a nice weaker here, nice and green, right? And trying to get out of all this. You can see this monthly here. It's trying to get out of there. You always look for stuff like this because if you look at XLU, a little bit different of a story, right? It's green, but it's much lower on the series here. So NEE here, and let's get these daily out a little bit. See if this thing sets up again for you too. So you'll see over here in the weekly, just goes up, comes back in, up, down, and then here takes out the slight lower low, and then here was your reversal right there, because this took out the previous low too, and this is back through previous range. You see, that's why we want to do that. NEE, we'll see if that sets up again. Like I said, a lot of things drying up a bit. We've got a lot of the usual suspects. NVAX. And NVAX has been a beaut ever since the inside month down in the lower middle over 1493. And then since I was here at Ticker Talker, you might recall us talking about the inside week down here at 48.43. Still going at 142.79. So we'll see if that sets up again. You had inside day here in the upper left. Poke up just a little bit, but not make any lower lows, and then accelerate this morning. And we'll see. It was a little quick, so we'll see if we get anything else to set up. Here was two 15-minute setups on the NVAX. Here, inside 15 to start the day, up, then bring them in, then the two down, the inside, and back up. All right, so we'll see. Now, like I said, a lot of these things just kind of stalling here is pretty much, slow Friday expiration coming into a lot of earnings. And so it's not rare to see a lot of things dry up in front of the earnings. So institutions can evaluate, even though there's a pretty good idea about a lot of them having no guidance whatsoever. QDEL, and this has been on our list all year because it's on the inside year and up. And you can come in here again and you can see this in the upper left. Your outside bar, you take out one side, you come up, then you go inside, boom, to finish them off. This here is now an outside bar of that. Nice inside day, and TWLO just having a raging year, and we've known about that all year because of the inside bar on the year. You've got VRNA. And VRNA, once again, something we look for here. Inside day, upper left, right? Large blows. And inside month, did we know about that? We sure did. I've talked about it here plenty of times on recorded. Here, inside month to the upside, and that broke above 67, trading 89.90, not bad. And what's this in here? This tight range in here. I don't think it was inside week though. No, it wasn't quite inside week. And then here's what we look for in the 15. The inside bar on the lower left takes out one side. Boom. Right back through Rev Strat style, 88.48. 89.79, and then goes into exhaustion risk. You can see there it pokes into the highs, and that's what we're looking to do as these become an outside bar of that. Can you dig it? I knew that you could. TWLO. And TWLO, once again, inside day, right here. Right after inside day after corrective activity, down, then inside, and then right back up here. Very nice. It's been down on the week. It's red on the week. But the thing about Friday is that when we look at time frame counter, when you look at the color of this and be like, well, Rob, if it's red on the week, how come we can buy it? Like, because it's called exhaustion. You're running out of week, right? So if you're short this thing and it starts coming back up like this, you're more likely to cover on a Friday, right? So we know that. And it's still green on the month. And so if we got any good 30s, this 15er came in that pretty nice here. There's inside 15. And the turkey, here's what we look for continuations, right? You take out the high, previous high, then the low. The 2, 2, 2, and right there, boom, over 233.68. There you go, not bad. If we go to EW, and EW, that similar thing, right? You want to look for taking out the previous on the daily, up to the left, taking out the previous high, taking out the previous low, stop them out, and then take this out. And the magnitude on this is to take this out, which it did. So right here, as soon as it pokes down, then it goes green on the day right here, where it opened at 72.04, and then it takes this out at 72.19, and the magnitude is here, 73.61, and boom, there you go. So we'll see if that sets up again on anything else. See how this 60 looking. So this was an outside bar to start the day, outside 60. So VRNA goes to the highs. And so here's what you can look for too, is like right that opening price, right? 72.04. When it goes down, starts coming back through there, and we know outside bars exist. You're going to take some of this stuff out, and at the same, within 10 cents or 20 cents, you're going to take this out. You can take it as soon as it goes back green, right there. If we go to VRNA, we got VRNA and TWLO. And so if we go VRNA, and this thing gapped up and just kind of hanging out there, we'll see if it sets up again. And here you go, inside on the 30, right here. Right, so now it's trying to go reversal back down on 30, but this was nice here over 12.10. 12.10 goes over 14, and that's not too bad. Well, we'll take that because you got this bright green week, bright green month. Still bright green on the day, and so whenever you have that, and you keep an eye on the 60, right? Now that the 60 is red, now you got corrective activity. But as soon as that ends, you can see what that kind of setup looks like to potentially go back green on the new hour. More druggy, I know, does this. It's green on the month, but inside in the lower middle, right? We know that. But you got an inside week to the upside here. Now, granted, these 3 weeks are still inside of here, and we want to be aware of that. But when you have corrective activity like so, here, right, there's the take out the low, boom, back to previous range. So ideally, we want to see if we can get up through here. Make that an outside bar, 28.54, and we'll see that if it doesn't do that today, if it follows through on Monday, although I won't be here to see it. And if we go to Netgear, NTGR, and Netgear, once again here, you're going to see this. On the weekly upper middle, take out the previous high, take out the previous low, boom, back through previous range. It's exactly what we look for, isn't it? It is, right? And all of this, it was an inside bar. So when it takes this out, is really breaking a compound inside bar as well, right? To get outside of this outside bar, which it indeed has done. So we'll see if that sets up again. Some of these things moving a little quick today, but that's okay. 15er right here. We'll see. We've got Ashland ASH. ASH just had a gap up and held. We'll see if that goes. Okay, just kind of hanging up there. That was a nice one, though, as it broke out of this kind of stuff. Massimo, just looking for these inside days to the upside. Here, inside day to the upside, and setting up the 2-2-2 for next week. So what's important, albeit still inside month in here, is when you take trades, you want to remember that it's like playing pool. All right, it's not just I think it's going from here to there, right? It's what will that leave me, right? You don't just take the cue ball and knock the ball in, right? You say, okay, if this goes in, where am I going to leave this cue ball so I get another shot, right? So if this works, this inside day goes to the upside works, it sets up the potential 2-2-2 for next week. See? Okay, good. We got CTXS. And CTXS, one of the things we look for here, let's see, we got to get anything off the 30. Here you go, the 30. Take out one side, high, take out the low, boom. These become an outside bar of that and more because you've got this inside month to the upside on the lower middle, which is what we like. If we go to the downside, obviously with the story being Netflix here, and Netflix still green on the month. Right? Even though it's coming in, it's still green on the month. So ideally what we're kind of looking for here is to go outside in the week. And even if it doesn't make it today, you can see that upper middle, that it's a lot closer to being an outside bar to the downside. So wouldn't surprise me to look for some follow through on that. Right now you're going to see this on your 30. Here, there's your broadening formation. And the question is, how do you get out of this? Right? If you go to the 60, you're going to see this. 3 hours stuck in the opening range. Remember we talked about this broadening formation yesterday, and there it is. They got them good on the earnings, and down they go, right? And so now it looks like this because broadening formations get bigger, thus the name. You've got Marna going to the highs, MRNA. CTXS is actually trying to take a 15er right now. Here. And there you go, inside and up on the 15. Now get. So on the downside, we also had some Domino's Pizza and some pandemic names a little bit. So Domino's Pizza, once again, here's your reversal. It's red on the week, right? When it retakes the opening of 402 and the drop of below here was 403.68 to cause that to go back red. So that ideally you want to come down and take this out. So these become an outside bar of all of that. Other pandemic stuff, we got some weakness in like Wynn. Oops. Got Wynn Resorts. A little bit. Just taking this little bit day to the downside. You always watch that with LVS. And you got your Marriotts and your usual suspects. The airlines, not totally getting killed, but thinking about it. And of course, you can always go bong. And here, just taking that slightly. So Boeing's still inside weaker. So we'll look at this range come next week, although I won't be here to do it. Cat Tractor coming in here a little bit too. And you can see that. There's your 2 up. And now the 2 back down, coming back to previous range. It's green on the week and the month, though. But for right now, you can see on the 60-minute here, just starting to bring it in a little bit. But wouldn't be surprised if this stuff stays pretty dry here. It's coming into earnings, expiration, all that kind of stuff on a Friday. Once again, I've recorded like 7 to 8 hours of studies on the broadening formations phenomenon on my Ticker Talker channel. I highly suggest you check it out while I'm gone. Study up, because you can see this stuff can be real good once you know what you're doing. So that's going to do it for today, and that's going to do it until August for me. I'm Rob Smith. This is the Black channel here at Ticker Talker with a Strat Time Report.